Welcome to Harding Highlights, a wrap-up of the week of December 6th here at Warren G. Harding High School. I'm Todd Johnson.
And I'm Brooke Jones.
And here is what happened this week.
Congratulations to the speech and debate team on their fine showing at the tournament held at Boardman High School. Matt Reese took 5th place in humorous interpretation. Also participating in humor was Robert Lane.
Other participants included Joanna Chapin in drama. In prose poetry, Rachel Toto and Lena Davey. In duo, Trey Smith and Pete Mitchell, and Sarah Reese and Logan Matthews. In debate, Dylan Shimko, Latoya Logan, and Ahmed Hosni.
The Business Tech Prep class is still looking for senior citizens to participate in their Vial for Life campaign. If you would like to receive one of these Vials for Life, call 841-2316 extension 309. The Vial for Life might even help you save your life in a case of an emergency.
That's right. By filling in the information form about your medical history and placing the vial in your refrigerator and the sticker on your front door, you will help the EMS team if you would ever need their assistance.
Hi, I'm Joseph Johns.
And I'm George Brown.
Report cards were distributed this week here at Harding. All students who have received a 3.2 or higher are reminded to apply for the Renaissance Card program.
The Renaissance program honors students who have achieved academic excellence. They are eligible for discounts for school dances and athletic events. Renaissance card holders also receive an independent study day and possible exemption from a final test. Now, if you have a 3.2 to a 3.4 grade point average, you can get a white card. If you have a 3.5 to a 3.9 GPA, you can get a red card.
Or if you're one of those people who studies very hard, you can get one of these with a 4.0 or higher, which entitles you to discounts for major school functions and admissions to athletic functions free. Now, what we want you to do, study hard. We want everyone that we can to be a member and a supporter of the Renaissance program here at Warren G. Harding.
It's time for Harding Highlights Pet Patrol. Here are some pets that need a good home.
He's a 4-year-old neutered and declawed cat. He uses a litter box. He'd make somebody a good Christmas present to put under their tree with a big old bow tied around his neck.
You can adopt these adorable dogs and cats at the Animal Welfare League on Brunstetter Road.
Rescue me, rescue me.
On Wednesday, December 8th, we were honored to have Dr. Carol Zellman, Superintendent of the State of Ohio Schools, visiting us here at Harding. She toured the building and also met with the Student Advisory Committee. Hi, my name is Rick Carson, and I'm joined here with Sarah Smith, President of the Student Advisory Committee. Sarah, why don't you tell us exactly what this committee is?
Well, the Superintendent Student Advisory Committee is comprised of students from all over the city of Warren. We have 2 representatives from each of the middle schools, Turner, Reserve, and East, and students from Warren G. Harding. And once a month we get together and we meet up in the Media Center for a lunch, and we talk to Superintendent Betty English about different things we can do to help the schools and to help the community.
That sounds good. Now, Sarah, I also know that you were present when Superintendent Zellman visited us here at Harding on Wednesday. What were your impressions of her?
Dr. Zellman is very intelligent, very well read. She cares a lot about the students and the schools, and even though she's not from Ohio, she wants to help a lot to make everything better. She wants our proficiency scores up, she wants our standards higher, and she wants the students to succeed. And that her main goals are success.
Sounds good. We have some footage of Mrs. Zellman and some of her goals. Let's take a look.
Make sure there's a real connection between what we expect what we teach, and how we test. And when we are all clear about that, when parents know it, when students know it, when teachers know it, when administrators know it, when our school board members know it, when the general public and the business community knows it, that's when we'll be in good shape. So my goal is to walk into a classroom and talk to any student. I walk into your math class and you can tell me, what are you doing that day? And and you could tell me what the expectations are.
Sarah, I understand that Mrs. Zellman also had a lot to say on how we as students can be successful.
Yes, she did.
Well, let's take a look at what she had to say on this issue.
What is being taught in your classroom with what is expected and what's on the test. So I think in general that's important. But I think it's also a communications pattern. That educators alone really can't make you, the students, do well on the test. You need more help. And you also have to take responsibility. So you, the student, has to understand what's expected of them. They have to be able to evaluate their work against a particular standard, and they have to put in a lot of effort to meet that particular standard. Your parents can also help you, or community members can help you. People can come into the community and mentor and help our students do better on these tests. It's everybody's responsibility to make sure that you as students are doing well, including your teachers, your parents, your community, and you yourself. And when those expectations are clear and everybody knows what's expected, then you have a better sense of how you're doing and what you need to do to get there.
So,
Sarah, I want to thank you for joining us here today. Good luck with the committee.
Thank you.
We were also very fortunate to have Dr. Zellman in our studios for an exclusive interview. Let's take a look at that.
hello, my name is Joseph Johns, and today I'm joined by a very special guest. This is Dr. Susan Zellman, the State Superintendent for all of Ohio. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for coming, doing this interview with us. Ms. Zellman has been here today at Harding, touring around and also been in the city, visiting, I believe it was the Board of Education.
Yes.
Had a meeting down here this morning. First of all, I'd like to ask you just one question in particular. What do you see here at Harding?
Well, I see a lot of wonderful things happening at Harding.
Thank you.
First of all, it started by my getting to know your new superintendent in this district, and she seems like a wonderful leader,
Yes,
and
she
you
is.
are very, very fortunate to have her. Second, this morning I had an opportunity to talk in some amount of time to your local board, and they are very much committed to high quality of education for all the children in Warren, and I think that's really important. I started out my day by going to the elementary school, and I was really impressed with the early literacy program that's here in your elementary schools, and the commitment of your teachers to think about teaching reading in new ways, and the commitment of a principal to also participate in professional development training with his teachers. I think that is very, very important and very impressive, and I encourage all other schools to do that as well. Then we went on to the middle school, and we saw some students who really loved some of their teachers, and I had a very, very dynamic conversation with some students in the gifted and talented class. And whether or not they thought that all students could benefit from the creative, hands-on curriculum that was going on in the gifted and talented class. And we had a very lively discussion on that issue.
Okay.
From there, I went to another middle school which had a planetarium. Can you imagine how absolutely terrific, and swimming pools, and a wonderful resource for middle school children. Plus, I stopped in on the book fair, and I was just looking for a book that I might send my 19-year-old son, and I'd ask the good advice of a student, and he showed me a book which gives you the inside poop on how to do well on Nintendo games and Sega games, and I never even knew that these books existed. So I learned a lot from this student. And then we are here now in the high school, and I have this wonderful opportunity to be here with you. And I look forward to having lunch with some students and to see what I can learn from. My philosophy as superintendent of public instruction is problems down, solutions up. So I'm out here visiting all parts of Ohio to see what I can learn from students, teachers, parents, and the community at large on how we can make our system better. And we have a lot of work to do.
All right. Well, I appreciate your straightforwardness and your desire to want to help us here in our own little city. I'd hope that you'd have a nice day here, and I hope that you had a pleasant experience here also at Harding.
Well, I think you're absolutely terrific. You're incredibly poised, and you have done a very good job on very short notice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all for us. Stay tuned.
Ho and salutations. This is the Harding Highlights Sports Desk. I'm Greg Gaina.
And I'm George Brown.
Filling in for Natalie Henderson. The boys basketball team faced off against the Mentor Cardinals in their first game of the season last Friday night.
The JVs defeated Mentor with a score of 68-49. High scores were Danny Stella with 18, Michael Phillips had 12 points and 7 assists, and Marlon Ingram had 10 points.
Now, on to the varsity, who had a good old-fashioned great basketball game with high scoring and great playing. The team played Mentor tough and forced overtime. The Raiders went in and conquered the Cardinals with a last-second three-point shot made by Craig Boyer. The final score was 98-97. Let's take a look at the last 2 minutes of the ball game. Fernando Phillip led the team with 32 points and 7 steals. Prescott Burgess, in his first game as a Raider, scored 17 points and had 9 boards. Ethan Banks had 16 points, and Alvin Jennings had 14 points, 6 assists, and 6 rebounds. And Maurice Claret, in his first game as a Raider, had 7 rebounds.
With JV girls, we beat champion 31 to...
We lost the champion, 41 to 31. Ashley Amos had 15 points, 4 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 8 steals.
Ashley Johnson had 10 points, 5 rebounds, 4 steals, 1 block, and 1 charge. And despite having only 3 points...
Mrs. Reliable, Tania Osborne, pulled down 7 boards,
2 steals, and had 2 blocks.
As a whole, the Lady Raiders had 26 rebounds, 20 steals, 4 blocks, and a charge. And now on to the varsity. They defeated champion with a score of 67 to 46. Tiffany Williams had 18 points, 12 rebounds, and 2 steals. Courtney Elliott had 12 points, 3 boards, 3 steals, and she took a charge. And Keisha Warfield
had 8 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 blocks.
Champion's leading scorer was Angie Daniels with 14 points. And as a whole, the Lady Raiders had 25 rebounds, 17 steals, 4 blocks, and they took 1 charge. The JVs are now 2-1, and the varsity are 3-0.
Then, on Thursday night, all 3 girls' basketball teams were in action. First, with the freshman girls. They defeated Mooney with a score of 43 to 29. The top scorers for Harding were Sierra Calloway with 12 points and Sharina Freeman with 11 points. The girls are now 2-0. The JVs also won with a score of 49 to 37. Leading scorers for the Lady Raiders were Ashley Amos with 12 points and Ashley Johnson with 11 points, along with Shanika Howard chipping in with 9 points. Amos also had 6 rebounds, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. Ashley Johnson had 5 boards and a steal. Lydia Johnson and Shanika Howard both had 2 blocks. The team as a whole had 23 rebounds, 12 steals, and 7 blocks.
Now on to the varsity. The final score was Harding 58, Mooney 30. The score did not reflect, however, how close the game was in the first half. At the half, the Raiders were only leading by 7 points, but they held the Cardinals to only 1 field goal in the whole second half and only 2 points off 2 free throws in the 4th period of play. Leading scorers for the Lady Raiders were Courtney Elliott, Keisha Warfield, and Tiffany Williams, all having 12 points apiece. Warfield also had 3 blocks, and Tiffany Williams had 2 blocks and 7 rebounds. As a whole, the Lady Raiders had 32 rebounds, 8 steals, 5 blocks. With this win, the Lady Raiders are 4-0 overall and 2-0 in the SVC. And now it sets up a showdown on this upcoming Thursday with the Boardman Lady Spartans, who are currently 4-1. It will be by far the biggest game of the season. And on a side note, the Lady Raiders have held some of the best players in the SVC in Kathy Handick of Ursuline and Katie Hardy of Mooney. Will they be able to hold the Boardman Spartans' Celeste Lebovi? That remains to be seen. And now with swimming. Here's the results from the last week's meet between Howland and Hubbard and Harding.
You dropped the bomb.
on behalf of WSCN, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. Now, before you turn off that TV, we're going to leave you with some footage of our band concert that we had here at Harding on Thursday, December 9th. Now, also, as a final note to all of you out there, if you would like to see this particular band concert in full, then please tune into the same channel at the same time for us here at WSCN, and we will be presenting you with the band's holiday concert. On behalf of WSCN, I'm Joseph Johns. Have a great day.